Yo, what's up, fellow jazz guitarists? Larry Tamanini here with Jazz Guitar Under 5 Minutes. With me, as always, Hershey the dog. Yo, you just caught me playing through my Pat Martino bag. Pat Martino is probably my biggest influence on the guitar. I studied with Pat from about 1996 to 2003. Took about 25, 30 lessons with Pat. I was his roadie, spent a lot of time with him. The greatest guitar insight I was able to get from Pat, and which I was able to get many, was how he taught me how to learn the fretboard. You know, we really didn't talk about areas of activity. He gave me this line. Almost sounds like the lick, right? So he gave me this line and had me play it in C, B flat, A flat, F sharp, E, D, and C, right? So real quick, it's going to go like this. Right? So I'm sure it would be really easy if I took that same pattern and went down in whole steps. All one string, right? But then I'm like, pattern Martino, playing with Don Patterson. You really get something out of it, but you're really not learning the guitar. When you're dealing with whole steps, rather, you really sort of have to recalibrate a lot. And when I'm going to this B flat, I really have to know that there's going to be a D flat in there. With an A flat, I have to know that my third is going to be a C flat. When I'm going to this, F sharp, everything's going to invert. I'm going to be playing off of all my different fingertips. And really, the next step of how I'm going to use this to learn the rest of the guitar is to keep that pattern going. So I ended up playing that pattern a bunch of different times off of every single finger. Obviously, I've been doing it for almost 30 years, so I don't have to think about it quite as much. It's more of a physical thing to kind of keep maintenance, which is a whole other topic. But it's how I learned my fretboard. And, you kind of start off on some different spots. Maybe if I just wanted to start off, normally I wouldn't play off my pinky, but for this sake, right? That's just pretty much like C, D, E flat, F. So I could just shift everything down, but again, I don't like to play with my pinky, so now I have to play this idea here. I really have to know what my notes are. I really have to know where they fall on the guitar. Same thing here. Right? Playing this Telecaster after playing arch tops, I really didn't play too much over my 10th, 11th, 12th fret like that. If I did, I'd use my pinky, and that's sort of where my phrases go to die. But playing this Telecaster, I get a little bit, pretty much like a whole other octave and change worth of range. So this has been a great idea that I've revisited to get used to a more fret-friendly guitar. So all right, jazz guitar friends, use this exercise. Start out really slow, right? Map out an area and kind of keep it going. B flat, right? Where do I want to get my next A flat from? Well, I could just skip, right? When you have the freedom of knowing the fretboard like that, you can pretty much start off any finger, off any string. And that's sort of what we're going for. So all right, jazz guitar friends, use that idea. It's the best way you're going to learn your fretboard. Once you feel comfortable in C, B flat, A flat, F sharp, E, and D, move it up or down a half step, do it in B, A, G, F, all that stuff. And then you're going to be good to go. E flat, that's a really good key to play in too for minor stuff. So all right, jazz guitar friends, you made it this far. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Try to put up new content every week, whether it's a lesson or a gig simulator or a live performance. Keep swinging. Bebop!